beautiful Whitefish, Montana. I'm going to be reviewing this Ford Ranger 2021 model Ford Ranger that I just bought. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to give it to my son. It's a complete surprise. He has no idea. He's up here in Montana at West Glacier working for the summer. And my wife and I drove this truck from Texas a little over 1,700 miles. Took us 2 days. And so that's it. I'm going to surprise him with the truck. I've already done that, but it's going to be kind of a Quentin Tarantino, you know, the ending and the beginning and all that kind of thing. So we've already done that. We're staying here for weeks, so we're driving it until we go home. We're going to fly home at the end of the week. And so yeah, he already knows about it, but I wanted to do it as soon as we got here and then do the review throughout the week and tell you about my 1,700 mile experience driving this truck all the way from Texas to Montana. And so there we go. So stick around and let's see what happens. So this is the 2.3 liter aluminum block, aluminum head, 270 horsepower, 310 foot-pounds of torque, turbocharged engine. Man, this thing's got plenty of power. It's backed up by a 10-speed automatic. So this is basically the EcoBoost that's in the Mustang, tuned a little bit differently, and same transmission, ZF 10-speed transmission. And this particular truck is a two-wheel drive. It's not a four-wheel drive. But yeah, this thing gets down the road and we'll do a couple of pulls. I don't know how well that'll show up on the camera, but this thing has got plenty of power. No problems there whatsoever. So I highly recommend this engine. I was very impressed with it. Very impressed with it. It runs great. So a couple little things that I just right off the bat that I think are pretty cool is it has hood struts. If I remember right, the old Rangers, and I'm talking the old ones, the 90s, you know, early 2000s, I don't think those had hood struts. Yeah, so we've got the rubber seal around there that creates kind of a cold air intake here. And then kind of a little Easter egg up here on the dash and the windshield. If you can see right there, it says Ranger. So yeah, anyway, just something kind of cool there. So these tires are Nitto Ridge Grapplers. These are 265/70 17s. These are not the original tires that came on the truck. As soon as I bought it, I drove straight from the dealership to Discount Tire and had these tires put on. The tires that came on the truck they just weren't beefy looking, and I just really think these give it a cool look. I believe the stock tires were 255/65 17s, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so yeah, those aren't standard. That's something that I added. So this truck is a 4-door, the Super Crew, and it has the 5-foot bed, and the maximum capacity, weight carrying capacity for this truck, even with just this little 5-foot bed, for the 4x2 Super Crew is 1,770 pounds. So while I'm back here in the back, I just wanted to also mention that the towing capacity of this truck right here, as it sets, you know, if you put a receiver hitch on it, is 7,500 pounds. So that's really impressive for a mid-sized truck like that. So 7,500 pounds towing capacity. Okay, now we're on the inside. Just your basic Ford setup. You've got your you know, basic fuel economy, driver assist settings, all that kind of stuff you can do right there on that center screen. You got your tach on the left with your temperature gauge. You've got your speedometer on the right with your fuel gauge. You've got all manner of controls here on the steering wheel, cruise control, that controls that center screen. And then this is your audio controls, and then your home screen and your phone and all that. So this is the kind of the standard Ford Sync system here. What I really like about it on this truck is you've got hard buttons here for the climate control, so you can do all of it just from hard buttons. But then you've also got where you can do it on the touch screen. So the only thing I don't like about the climate controls, just, you know, my opinion, after driving this thing for, now we've got 2,400 miles on it, is there's no knob for the fan speed. So if you're driving down the road and you want to just reach down and turn the fan speed, you really can't just grab a knob and turn it. You have to kind of take your eyes off the road for a second and use that up and down switch. Or the screen's a little busy just to look down. I don't know, just my opinion. I wish they would have had at least a knob for that one function, but not that big of a deal. So I mean, you got all your settings and your apps. This does come with Apple CarPlay, so you can plug it in. I don't know if it's wireless. I know that you can connect your phone to this and, listen to your music and that kind of thing wirelessly, but I don't think the Apple CarPlay is wireless. I think you have to plug in to one of these connectors, USBs down here. Also, there's a lot of charging areas. There's 2 USBs there. You've got 2 12-volt, the old style cigarette lighter ones there. So plenty of charging up here. And then on this back console, I don't know if I'll be able to, there it is. There's 2 USBs there, and then there's also a 110 outlet there. So sorry, we've got a bunch of stuff in the car. We've been driving it all week. So window controls. This is the XLT model. I don't know if the other ones are auto. Anyway, this particular one is only the driver's one is auto up and down. So something else that I thought was pretty cool was when you're driving down the road and the door's locked, or anytime the door's locked, that little orange light comes on, so it lets you know that the door's locked, because there's no, the old style up and down lever there. So it is equipped with blind spot monitoring in the mirror there. So there's a little orange light that comes on. Most cars have that nowadays. Not a big deal. So it's got that on both mirrors. So this truck also has lane keep assist, which I really enjoyed on this particular truck. Unlike my wife's Camry, it's really easy to turn on and off. It's just a lever here on the end of the steering wheel that turns it on and off. Even I don't like using it, but when it is on, I just tested it, during the drive up here, and it's not really super intrusive. It's a more mild alert system than I feel like the Toyota lane keep assist is, and those are the only 2 that I really have to compare. So, and then all the adjustments, driver assist adjustments, and all that stuff in the infotainment system are really easy to get to. This Sync, I think this is Sync 2 or Sync 3. It's a really intuitive, it's a really simple system, I feel like, to use. I don't really enjoy all this technology, but this is one that I don't really mind. It seems pretty simple. So there we go. So here in the back seat, as far as legroom, my son's been driving the truck. He's 5'11", and I'm only 5'8", but as you can see, sitting here in the truck, I've got, probably 4 inches to the back of the seat. So, for small adults, children, that kind of thing, even some average size adults, I think there's plenty of leg room with an average size driver. So it's not too small. I don't think this would be too bad on a long trip. So there we go. And then I'm going to show you some storage capacity under the seat here. There's a little cord that you pull. You can flip up the seat and it stays up, and then you've got these storage compartments down here. You got your some of your jack equipment there, and then you've got a whole nother storage area there. So yeah, it makes nice. It's not lockable, but if you don't know it's there, it makes a nice little hidden storage area anyway. And then you've got your armrest for the rear passengers, 2 cup holders, and then I'll go to the other side, and this back side of the seat actually flips. So then on the passenger side, in the rear, you have this loop here. You can pull on that, and there's your jack, and then you have some storage space back here. Not a whole lot, but There is some storage space available back behind the seat as well. So even though this is a relatively short wheelbase vehicle, the ride quality is really nice. It's not harsh. We drove 2 really long days up here. The seats were comfortable. Sorry, I gotta watch here. I'm pulling out on the road. Seats were really comfortable. I mean, it is a truck. Don't expect this to ride like some type of luxury car. It is a truck, so I mean, it is a little bit bumpy, but it's surprisingly, you know, compliant ride. It's tight, but it's not too tight. I mean, as far as a compact truck goes, ride's really good. I've owned 3 of the old Rangers over my lifetime. I had a 1993 that I bought right when those first came out, when they came out with that more rounded body style. Then I owned a 1997 for a number of years, and then I owned a 2002 for a number of years. And those were all short bed, single cab trucks. They rode okay, but they were relatively rough riding, you know, compared to something like this. So, and that's something else I wanted to talk about too. I've seen a lot of other people talk about these new Ford Rangers, and they go, "Oh man, they're overpriced. They're overpriced. They're not like the old Rangers." Well, I've owned 3 of those old Rangers, and after driving this truck, I'm telling you, they are Rangers in name only. Those old Rangers don't even compare. I paid, I think, $9,200 for my 93 model, brand new from the Ford dealer. The 1997, I paid like around 10 grand for that truck as well. And then my 2002, they had gone up in price a little bit. I think I paid $11,000, $12,000 for that truck. So yeah, those are really inexpensive trucks for the time. But they're no comparison. You can't compare, in my opinion, you know, a truck from 20 years ago, 20-something years ago, almost 30 years ago for my 93 model that cost less than $10,000 to what this vehicle is right here. This is on a totally different level. This is so much better. There's so much more technology. There's so much more capacity. Those old Rangers, those old 4-cylinder Rangers, those things were slow. I mean, they had, I think they were, the first one I bought in 93 had like 118 horsepower, something to that effect. I think my 2002, I don't remember exactly, but I want to say it was still less than 130 horsepower. And that's not a lot at all. Where they were good, dependable, good gas mileage vehicles. I'm looking for another old beater truck right now for myself. I'm looking at those old Rangers. I think they're great little trucks, but you can't compare what those $10,000, $12,000, $13,000 Rangers were 20 years ago to what this truck is right here. This is on a completely different level. This is so much better and such a different vehicle than those were, you know, all those years ago. So I just wanted to get my thoughts out on that. So your opinion may vary. Just because this is called a Ranger doesn't mean this was meant to be a $10,000, $12,000, or $15,000 truck like those old trucks were. This is a completely different animal. Drives so much better, way more horsepower, way more torque, just a better all-around vehicle. Those trucks never came in a Super Crew. They were only in a single cab or cab and a half. This is a totally different animal, and in my opinion, totally worth what they're asking for these vehicles. So that's just my opinion. You can comment down below and tell me what you think, if you agree or disagree. But you know, even when these first came out, I thought the same thing. I thought, man, a Ford Ranger, those things are over 30 grand. That sounds ridiculous. But after I went, test drove it, yeah, no doubt that this truck is a completely different level than those old Rangers, and in my opinion, completely worth the money. So, okay, I'm doing a pull from a dead stop. That's 60 miles an hour right there. I don't know how fast that was, but I guarantee you that's way faster than any old 4-cylinder 5-speed Ranger I had years ago. So, you don't have any shoes on?
Yeah.
It's over here.
Yo, did you get a new truck?
Hey, I didn't get a new truck.
Is that mine?
You got a new truck.
No way.
That is your truck.
No way, that's my truck. No way, look at the tire. Oh, shoot. Yo. Yo. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's pretty sick. That's gonna be so cool now. I can drive around
Yeah.
the park. Yo. No way, what year is this truck?
2021?
No.
Go on there.
It's like sick. Wow. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Love y'all.
Yo.
Put your shoes on.
So I get to go drive this truck.
That is yours.
Like it's gonna stay here.
We're flying home on Friday. That's staying with you.
Did you have any idea?
No.
We kept it good, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's got miles because you drove it.
Yeah.
Let's go drive it.
Well, we made it back to Texas, as you can see. And it sure is a lot hotter here. Anyway, I just bought that, and we'll make a video about that. So I hope you enjoyed it. Something to keep in mind here. I know some people might think that, you know, buying your 20-year-old son a brand new truck's ridiculous. I'm not rich, so everything I've got has come from hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of time away from my family, and it's all worth it. So there you go. Have a good day, and please subscribe. I appreciate it. Thanks.